Get the latest movie reviews, Hollywood news, and inside views. It's time for Behind the Screens with Lights, Camera, Jackson on 107.7 GNA.
This is the most important LCJ review in the history of Brian and Chrissy in the morning on GNA. Good morning, Jackson. Happy Friday, buddy. How are you?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
We're good.
No pressure, though, Jackson.
Listen.
Ooh, no pressure. Okay.
Here's the thing about Jackson. He's a professional. He's all about the integrity. His review of DP2 will be as honest and as that you'll ever get. In other words, you're not going to let, like, the fact that I've kind of bullied you the past couple of years influence how you review this movie, are you?
No, I'm just going to tell it like it is.
All right, let's save that till the very end. Let's start with Kiefer Sutherland, who's in town, and you've been palling around with him, and you and Geraldo Rivera zipping up the Erie Canal together, or what?
No, I didn't zip up the Erie Canal, but no, I was listening to Jess on middays, and you guys should too out there.
Oh, thanks, Jackson.
I heard her the other day, and I heard you the other day, Jess, talk about Kiefer Sutherland in town, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm into Designated Survivor. I can't believe they canceled the show. I didn't see the finale. I don't want any spoilers yet. So I decided to track him down. I went to some of the restaurants the other night where he was photographed at a few days prior, and then I went towards the Egg where he and his band performed last night, and then I saw him on a street corner with an assistant woman by the Albany Capitol Center, and I went up to him, and we talked a little bit about Designated Survivor. We talked about some of the cast members and his band being in town, and he was great. Extremely nice guy. That's what everybody said who also met him this week around Albany. Very nice guy.
Did he spoil it for you? Did you?
No, he didn't. He didn't spoil the finale of Designated Survivor for me. Yeah, but a couple episodes behind. But I'm disappointed. I hope the show gets picked up by Netflix. It is a good show. It is.
All right, so we'll get to DP2. Your review in a second. What else is opening up this weekend? We'll start with that.
So I saw a movie on Tuesday I thought really wasn't made for me, but it's worth seeing. It's Book Club. It is the new comedy with Diane Keaton, Candice Bergen, Jane Fonda, and Mary Steenburgen about women over a certain age and them deciding to read 50 Shades of Grey. And when I attended the screening, most of the crowd was women over a certain age, and they were laughing hysterically during this film. And I realized about halfway through, even with all the silliness, even with all the sex jokes, there is something worthwhile and worthy about a movie like this, is that people over the age of 65 have legitimate relationships. They have legitimate relationship problems and issues like everybody else at any other age. And so you see this play out on screen, and I thought it was a fairly whole film to watch.
You know, there's a lot of people, though, that would shy away from a film like that, just because when 50 Shades was really, really big, like, they don't want to relive those memories of watching 4 or 5 of their coworkers hanging around the break room, like, which was happening in schools at the state where women were bringing that book to work and, like, reading it in the office.
Right, but it's a very minimal element of this film. It gets a lot of things going, but then each of the 4 main characters has their own storyline that goes through the whole arc, and the 50 Shades is a very minimal element to the film.
All right, Deadpool 2. You saw it last night. I feel like you liked it.
Let me say this. I do think it is a slightly better film than the first one, and I'll tell you why. There is more action in this. It is a more character-driven story. It's still incredibly relentless with the sarcasm and the dialogue, and I didn't laugh once. But I will say this. There are a couple of scenes in this movie, maybe 3 or 4, that are very well done, but yet surrounded by everything else, they aren't able to stand out. If those scenes were placed in a movie that didn't pound you over the head all the time, they would really be standouts and make you notice them and really appreciate them. So in that respect, my official grade, because I know are there WWE tickets on the line for this? I want to make sure.
There are.
Okay, my official grade for Deadpool 2 is a D+. That is my official grade for Deadpool 2.
Wow, and you gave the last one what?
A D-.
A D-. I do think this is a better film. It's a more focused film, but it is still not a great movie by any means. Oh, my gosh. No, I was, rolling my eyes the whole time. It's just so obvious. The humor is so obvious. This day and age, it's very hard to find a screenwriter and people out there who make subtle humor, the clever humor that isn't so blunt and obvious and forceful and self-aware. Yeah, this is not a good film, you guys, but it is slightly slightly better than the first one.
Well, listen,
Wow,
that's like a
D+.
parent-teacher conference where, like, your kid is, like, failing miserably, right? But he's like, he got like a 37 on his last test.
Right. And he got a 34.
He got a 34 last week, so there's some slight improvement there. Jackson, real quick, 30 seconds. You didn't laugh once. That can't be the truth.
It is the truth, man. It is the truth. I will say there was a trailer last night, though, for a movie called The Happy Time Murders. It's going to come out in August. It is an R-rated movie with Melissa McCarthy and Muppets and Muppet characters, and it looks like it could be something historic. People were laughing in the theater. I was laughing in shock at what was happening on the screen. The Happy Time Murders, the trailer's online today. It is going to have a lot of people talking.
There's a lot of people in their car going, well, that tells you everything you need to know about this segment. I love you, Jackson. If people want more from you, buddy, how can they do that?
My complete Deadpool 2 review will be up later today. Lights-camera-jackson.com, YouTube, Lights Camera Jackson. And if you want to see the Kiefer Sutherland picture, Instagram at LightsCamJackson.
You're the best.
Thanks,
Talk to you next
Jackson.
Friday.